You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, we have got Phyllis going off the rails, and she may actually be channeling Billy while simultaneously targeting him with this whole new Chancellor obsession that she's got. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we are going to discuss Phyllis's fixation and how she might become even more unhinged and could be fully weaponized soon. Before we get into it, though, please click that subscribe button. All right, so right now, Phyllis wants one thing, and that is Chancellor Industries. First, she was all about AbbottCom, and she couldn't wait to get back to work after that awful kidnapping ordeal with Sharon. But recently, Billy fired Phyllis because he doesn't feel she's in the right headspace to help him run the company, which is true. And it definitely looks like Phyllis needs to process her trauma so she can get past it. Billy, Daniel, Sharon, and Nick all gave her this advice. But right now, Phyllis is not doing that, and she won't listen. Instead, she is very angry at Billy for firing her and upset that he replaced her with Sally. And now Phyllis has invented this long con that she thinks Sally was running to replace her in Billy's life. Phyllis seems to be living in some sort of alternate reality where she's the star and the main character in something like, I don't know, a soap opera, just about Phyllis herself. And now she is focused on getting Amanda to help her get her hands on Chancellor using her mystery boss, Duma. And it seems kind of random and kind of out of the blue because Phyllis had been talking about starting her own company with Daniel, and then bam, she twisted around and Phyllis wants Duma to take Chancellor from Nikki and Victor and let her and Daniel and Amanda run it. But why is Phyllis now all about Chancellor out of nowhere? Remember, she worked there for 5 minutes before Jill made Billy fire her, and he did what Jill asked. He let her go. But now it's like Phyllis is channeling Billy with this plot to steal Chancellor from the Newmans. We know that for months, ever since Jill sold to Victor based on the lies and trickery that he was engaged in, that Billy was hell-bent on getting Chancellor back and getting revenge on Victor for taking it in the first place. But now, Billy's happily starting this new company with Sally, and the whole Chancellor thing is on the back burner for him for the most part. And instead, Phyllis has picked up the ball that Billy dropped, and she's determined to get a meeting with Duma so she can take control of Chancellor. And what's crazy, she's actually making some progress. When Phyllis first approached her good friend Amanda, who of course works for the mystery man, she told Phyllis no. Amanda was completely against it. She told Phyllis that she already tried to pitch her to Duma and he was not interested. Then we had Phyllis telling Amanda, we can run it together. And Phyllis tells Amanda that her being a lawyer is boring and they should do this instead. And this week, improbably, Phyllis convinces Amanda to take her to DC with her and try and push forward this meeting with the faceless guy that they're still not showing us, which is insane. Insanely slow writing. Anyway, Phyllis actually got Amanda to agree. And Phyllis said, he can remain anonymous and she and Amanda can be the new faces of Chancellor. And so now Phyllis has packed a bag and she bought a first class ticket. So I actually wonder if she will be the first one to see his real face and see if it's Kane Ashby or Brooks Prentice or whoever. I don't care as long as they just reveal who it is. And, Phyllis is certain she can dazzle the billionaire businessman, and she told Amanda that her boss has never met anyone like her. Well, depending on who he is, he's probably actually met her. So against all odds and in the face of the fact that she's not even stable right now, Phyllis is actually making headway with this crazy idea of hers. But it's not healthy. It's not. And there's a good chance it may end in disaster for both her and Amanda. We know, of of course, Phyllis still hates Victor for the Marco Anicelli stunt, but that grudge has long since been pushed by the wayside. It doesn't even seem active. She hasn't mentioned it in forever. Phyllis also has no particular beef with Nikki. I mean, heck, they even buried a body together a few years back. Turns out it was still alive, but hey, the intent was there. So why is Phyllis all hyped up about getting her hands on Chancellor? It's not about revenge on Nikki and Victor. It's about revenge on Billy and Sally by Phyllis taking the revenge that Billy really wants and the company that he really wanted to get back. Phyllis is lashing out primarily at Billy at this point. His rejection hit Phyllis when she was at this low point, even though Billy had her best interest at heart when he made the decision. But Phyllis and her delusions are completely Billy-centric right now, which seems to be foreshadowing her upcoming bad behavior. Plus, she has such an attitude about Sally also. There's just no telling what Phyllis may do. And now that Amanda has agreed to try and get Phyllis a meeting with Duma, she might actually have a chance to run Chancellor. But if he's as smart as they say, hopefully he'll shut down Phyllis, because putting her in charge of a massive corporation while she's in this manic state is a terrible idea. Even on her best days, without being furious at Billy and others, Phyllis is chaos personified. And right now she is spiraling. She can't get her head on straight. She's in denial that she's suffering PTSD. She needs a reality check. She needs a sanity check, some therapy, not a new job. We know from Y&R spoilers this week that something big goes down at Nikki's party and Duma sends a message to all of Genoa City. I just wonder if in some bizarre way, Phyllis is the one who delivers the message on his behalf, sort of a vengeful warning of what's to come. I mean, if Duma does want to punish certain people, and if, for instance, Billy is on his hit list, then empowering Phyllis is certainly one way to go. We'll see if Duma weaponizes Phyllis and sets her loose on his enemies, because she can certainly be destructive. In the long run, though, it's a bad idea. Billy wasn't trying to hurt Phyllis, and Sally certainly wasn't aiming to take her job. But you can't tell Phyllis that. We may soon see her on a full-blown revenge spree against Billy, against Sally, against others. Right now, Nick and Daniel are already worried about her, so they may try and intervene and get Phyllis some help, but it's doubtful she'll take it. Instead, she may become the most dangerous weapon in Dumas' arsenal. Amanda wouldn't knowingly sign Phyllis up to be used like that, but we also know that she's not going to listen to Amanda when push comes to shove. The whole thing with Chancellor and Duma could end up being Phyllis's breaking point. But what I do see right now is that she's trying to steal Billy's thunder, get back what he lost, and rub it in his face. Will Phyllis succeed? Maybe. Is it what's best for her? Not one bit.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.